Okay, good afternoon. This is Caroline Tapkin here on behalf of Travel Daily and Travel Daily's Inspiring Women in Travel Asia. And I'm joined today by Marisa Sukosol, from Bangkok. So thank you, Marisa, for joining us. And I let you introduce yourself. Please tell us who you are and what you do.
Yes, thank you, Caroline. Yes, my name is Marisa Sukosol Nunbhakdi. I am the president of the Thai Hotels Association and also executive vice president of my family business, which is Sukosol Hotels. We have 5 hotels in Bangkok and in Pattaya, and we have a property on the river that's quite well known worldwide. I've been president since about a year, just over a year, right after COVID began. So yeah, I've had a very rough ride as
That's
president.
quite a time to take over, isn't it?
Yes. A huge learning curve. I think I could probably get a doctorate degree just through all the experience that I've gained over the last year. Yes.
What's been the greatest experience over the last year?
They're not exactly very pleasant. You know, we've gone through a huge huge destruction of the entire tourism industry in Thailand. You know, I would say that because of all the inventory of hotels, you know, maybe 5 or 10% will change hands, you know, and those that can open will struggle through the next 2 years, especially when there's fewer funds to be obtained, you know. So long term operating at a loss for the long, you know, almost 2 years, it has really hurt the industry. And we estimate that about 50% of the workforce in hospitality have left. This is for Thailand.
That's quite a challenge as you reopen to.
Yes. So my days have been working very closely with the government whenever there's a need for input and information from the private sector, which is badly required. I'm always there because I am the Thai Hotels Association is one of 3 of the larger tourism associations in Thailand, and you know, I've had to reflect our challenges and try to you know, inspire and influence government to assist travel and hospitality especially.
They are quite supportive of hospitality, though, are they not?
Well, they are, but our government tends to kind of assist everyone. They want to assist everyone, and there is very little sector-specific support, you know, for tourism. But I mean, I mean, I can't say that there was no. I mean, there's still very, you know, there was a lot of help, yes, of course, but maybe not as extensively as the hospitality sector in the UK or the US.
I think those in the UK would disagree with you there.
Really? Okay.
I should a challenge everywhere, and
yes, everywhere.
They've not had a great deal of support.
Yes.
It's going to be a challenging year ahead as well. I mean, what do you identify as the greatest challenges in the coming year then, as tourism starts up again?
Well, I believe, well, in Thailand, there's a lot of supply, you know, an oversupply of hotels. And at the rate that we're going with tourism coming back into Thailand, I think there will be a slow climb. So not everybody will benefit equally. So there will be a big price war among hotels in Thailand. Yes. And those that have an advantage will be those that have international reach, like chain properties, and still, you know, there's still so much opportunity in Thailand. People are investing, buyers are buying up hotels, you know, and renovating, putting new brands on properties. So I think the smaller operators and independent operators will have a challenging time in the years to come.
Yes, I can imagine. Did you ever see yourself being here in this position at this time of your life?
Not at all.
Was that your vision? No.
Not at all. It was absolutely not my vision. Yeah. So about 6 years ago, I was recruited to join the Thai Hotels Association as just as a part of the board, and I very reluctantly agreed. But then when they asked me to be the chairperson for the environment, I said, okay, because my hotels are very sustainable. All of our hotel properties are certified green hotels and things like that. So I had the resources to be able to assist. And 6 years later, the board members asked me to be president, and I never in a million years imagine that I could be president, because as president of an association, you have to have so much knowledge. It has to be, you have to have a macro view of the industry and knowledge about everything, not just the environment, but banking and tourism and everything, sustainability included. So I was very reluctant, but I'm still not exactly completely satisfied, but I still have a couple years, and I once I'm here, so I'm committed, to try and do my best.
But you come from a family of hoteliers,
Yes,
hospitality background. Were you
yes,
raised to join the family business, or
yes.
how
Well,
did that?
how did that come about? Well, in my days, I think I'm just on the cusp of a baby boomer. You're raised to work hard. Although we were, you know, I wouldn't say wealthy, but we were pretty well off. I still uh, I was raised to work hard. My father grew up on a farm, in Indiana. I'm part American
Mhm.
actually, you know. So as the eldest child, it was kind of a natural um, process for me to enter the family business, and I've been stuck since. So I wouldn't tell you. I
Stuck.
can't. I won't tell. Stuck. Yes, I won't tell you how many years. Maybe I won't tell. I won't give away my age, but I've been stuck for a long time. But it's been rewarding actually to see the hotel succeed, and I think that's where the passion comes in, when you feel satisfied and you see results, and you know that you can help people and build a team, and because you're responsible for the livelihoods of your staff, and in Thailand they stay with you for a long time.
Yes.
So these are the rewards of my role as hotel owner.
Did you study hospitality?
Not at all. I was in studied art history, and I wanted to be a singer.
I
In
believe
fact,
you are actually a singer, are you not?
thank you. I can sing, yes. I've sung a couple of hit songs in Thailand. People know my songs. So
Yes.
I've had my one hit wonder, and that's good enough for me. So now now my role is as president is just to carry hospitality. I don't, I'm not here to say that I'm responsible for everything. No, but I do what I can, in my role to voice the challenges and to help out owners and staff who are working in hospitality in Thailand.
What do you see as the environmental angle? What do you see as the greatest challenges coming up in Thailand for the environment?
Yes, well, I think COVID has taught us that the environment is very resilient, and that its destruction can also destroy tourism. That we are so in Thailand, we are so reliant on travelers coming here to enjoy our beaches and to enjoy the scenery and the natural resources of our especially the southern islands. And so moving forward, everyone has to be vested in sustainability. And in Thailand, we've had, we've the pioneer of hotel hospitality, which is one of the founders of the Greenleaf Foundation. It was 20 years ago. He started certifying hotels as
Mhm.
green, and so of all the ASEAN countries, we are quite ahead of the game with hotel sustainability. And the government also is promoting the BCG economic model, which is the bio-circular and green economic model, and tourism is one of the drivers. So I see, now that we have market access, we have more travelers interested to travel responsibly, Thailand has to focus on promoting sustainability and responsible travel to a wider audience, not just hotels, but other tourism operators as well, and Thai consumers too. And I also believe the government has to be very serious now about capacity, controlling capacity for travelers, entering certain destinations. And so I guess you call it destination management,
Do you think that will actually come in the near future?
Yes, in fact, a lot of the key islands are, there's programs in place for that, and a lot of them have closed, for rehabilitation, reopened again. So, yes, I see really good signs.
And how much support do you have for that type of work and encouraging the government to take the right
You mean for
path?
sustainability?
Yes, yes.
It's the trend, isn't it? So if you approach someone with the idea, it sparks interest, but being able to gain monetary support is a different story, though.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to promote and create awareness, but there's no real monetary support. But in Thailand, our tourism ministry has funds, not tourism, sorry, the environmental ministry has funds. So the Green Hotel Scheme, which certifies around 65 to 70 hotels a year, that's completely free.
Free.
So that's free. So that's
Okay.
very good. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of encouragement at governmental
Yes.
level as well.
Yes.
I mean, there's
Yes.
demand from grassroots, from the tourists themselves, isn't there, for more sustainable
Yes. That's right.
activities in tourism?
Yes. Yes. And there are programs like right now we're working with EU Switch Asia program to promote sustainability, not just in hotels, but for the travel agents too. So that's ongoing at the moment.
That's good news.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What would you say is your greatest achievement? What are you proudest of in your career so far?
In my career? Well, yes. Well, for my work as the chairperson of the environment, I was given an award for green growth from a very big business association here. Women in Green Growth, or I forgot the name, but I was very proud of that.
Yes.
And what else? And I was earlier this year, I was part of the working group to consult and offer my ideas for the promotion of sustainable and community tourism under the National Economic and Social Development Council. So the program, the plan was to draft, the economic and social development plan for tourism in the next 5 years. So I was extremely proud to be included in that committee.
That's a fantastic project. So for the next 5 years, so what does that entail? What's that looking
So
like?
that entails community knowledge building among community members, trying to lift the standards of community-based tourism through certification, not just hotels, but all sorts of other accommodation types, and also promoting quality tourism. A lot of people ask me what is quality tourism. So it's basically trying to get tourists to stay longer and spend more, and also be more responsible when they travel. And so we were identifying key economic drivers or tourism economic multipliers for tourism, what needs to be promoted, because the income from those assets, they will trickle down. So the identified sectors were medical and wellness, MICE. We have a great opportunity to increase MICE business in Thailand. Marine, there's a serious talk about promoting yachting, super yachts, building yachts, parking yachts. I'm not real familiar with yachting, but that's one of them. And building cruise terminals, things like that, because I think geographically we're very strategic, Thailand, and also accommodating the aging population, or silver group, is that what they're called now?
Yes, silver
Active,
travelers, yeah.
silver travelers who are very active still.
Yes,
And also the millennials, the younger, staycation, work, how do you call them? Digital nomads,
yes.
yeah, accommodating those groups. So, and also linking Thailand with the rest of ASEAN, and creating a regional cooperation for sustainable travel, and also just promoting ASEAN as a region.
Really sounds like you've got your hands full with that workload.
No, I mean, it was a plan, so now we have to get the plan implemented, right?
Right.
And action, yeah, yeah.
Does that
Take
entail
action on it.
getting everybody on board?
Well, in
Does that-
Thailand, I mean, it's not my duty, actually. It's
Thank
beyond
goodness.
me, beyond me, thank goodness. But the key government sectors look to the National Economic and Social Development Council for the direction they should take in drafting their own plans. Yes, so it's very, very, it's a catalyst for
Yes.
future change, or
Exciting
future
to
development.
monitor that, to see how that
Yes,
develops.
yes.
Fantastic. I mean, when you're talking to the younger generation now, how do you encourage them to get involved in these sorts of projects?
Um, oh, gee.
Well,
Yes,
I
we
mean,
have to make,
travel and tourism has taken a hit, hasn't it, over the last couple of years? Not so
yes.
many people opting to study, to enter the industry. Does all this sort of initiatives with sustainability and the environment, linking it with tourism, does that help encourage people to get involved?
Um, I think maybe not everyone, but there are pockets of people who are passionate, young people, or who are passionate about the environment. And I've noticed that it among people who live near nature, like I've traveled to the south many times, and I've been able to speak to students, and they seem to be very passionate and about developing their own regions and attracting sustainable tourism in their own regions, so you just have to um, point out the future growth and the benefits to um, their hometowns,
Yes.
for them to be able to see, and for them to be able to see how they can contribute, and make a living from the work that given to them in tourism. So, and there's a lot that they can do. Yeah, there's a lot.
Do you find that, I mean, we keep trying to link sustainable and tourism together. Do you
Yes.
find the younger generation particularly are more intent on keeping it as sustainable rather than just business? Is
Um,
sustainability their focus?
okay.
So sorry about that. We had a little bit of a hiccup. I think we were just talking about sustainability and whether that's beginning to be a focus in tourism and tourism development.
Yes. Yes, very much so. Like I said, the BCG economic model is, leading the economic growth for Thailand in the coming years. So that's bio, circular, and green economy, and the tourism will be the big driver for that. And so, yes, I think not just government sector, but public as well, and young people as well. About 2 years ago, right before COVID, Thailand embarked on a big campaign to reduce single-use plastics. When you walk into a convenience store, the 7-Eleven, which there are many in Thailand, you aren't given a plastic bag anymore, for example. So the idea of protecting and saving the environment is encouraged in the general public. So that's a really good sign, that more people are aware. In the city, among people living in Bangkok, there's a lot more awareness. Like in malls, people will bring their own mugs and things like that. But now since COVID, I mean, a lot of it has changed. You know, now if you go to a Starbucks, they don't allow you to bring your own mugs anymore. You know, just trying to keep everything hygienic. So after COVID, though, I think people will be more. I mean, it will. You know, it will still be on people's mind. It won't go away.
I think we've all
COVID
taken
just gave us a hiccup.
yeah, we've all
Yeah.
taken a
Yes.
step back because of
Yes.
COVID, but
Yes.
hopefully the awareness is definitely there, isn't it? And that will
Yes.
continue.
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell me, Marisa, who has inspired you along the way?
I think the obvious question and is my mom. You know, she's a tourism entrepreneur, very one of the founders, one of the how do you how do you call what is the word?
Founding
Pioneers.
fathers, founding
She's a woman though.
a woman, yes, yeah. No,
Yes.
she's
So
very well known, isn't she, in the
yes, so
tourism?
yeah, and you know, many women had a hand in building Thai tourism.
Yes,
Yes, several. Most of them are women actually, and my mom's one of them. And so she's entrepreneurial, and she built the hotels from her bare hands. The properties were there, but she built them with her own bare hands, um, and she did her own marketing, traveled the world, you know, and she's a singer. She's a well-known, very respectable, and sort of a star in Thailand.
yes,
Everywhere
yes.
she goes, people want to take pictures with her because of this hit song she sang. And in those days, she did all the marketing herself. Everywhere she went, she would take a CD with her of her singing. And I also sang with my mom. You know, we were a duo. But I remember one year she took us on a tour of Australia. We went on a sales trip, the family, just my mom and 4 children. We were singing and dancing. We gave a show to these travel agents across Australia. And
One they'd never forget.
yes, and to this day, I mean, we're still operating hotels. We're building you know, a property that we acquired in Chiang Mai. So, you know, we're still doing projects, but and still singing as well. Every year, she does a Red Cross charity performance, and I join her in those performances. So she's very inspirational. She's 85 and still kicking, you know, and
Still going strong.
still going strong. Yeah. So I mean, she's not just an inspiration to me, but to everyone. Yeah. She's sort of a tank, you know, a tank. So we've gone through so many crises in tourism, and you know, we're
She
fighters, and
still
she's
has
a
that
fighter.
energy, and you all have that
Yes,
energy to
exactly.
keep the
Yes.
train going.
Yeah, and also to be compassion, you know, to be
Yes.
not just a big fight, you know, a woman, businesswoman with a fighting spirit, but also to have compassion. I think that's very important. Yeah, for rewarding life and career, you have to have passion and be kind and
If you don't
kindness.
have passion and you haven't got that energy to
Yes,
keep moving and keep
yes,
building and
uh-huh,
to keep going. Yeah.
yes.
I'm glad she's still got that energy at her
Yeah,
age.
I mean, I meant compassion, not passion.
Passion you need as well, and compassion.
Passion and compassion. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So as we wrap up, Marisa, what advice would you give to young women wanting to join the hospitality and tourism industry in Thailand?
Well, I would say to them that that tourism is Thailand's greatest asset. Really, we have so much. You know, we have resources, we have great destinations and great potential to build back tourism to a greater, you know, to more greatness, to greatness. And I want them to be a part of that because we need them. Because I want another really important asset in our tourism for Thailand is the people. You know,
Mm,
we have
yes.
you know, the people who are kind and who have a generous spirit and who have this inside in their heart they want to serve, and we do have that in everyone, not just, you know, the older generation but the younger generation as well. So we need them to be part of this exciting growth, you know, to achieve greatness for Thailand 10, 20 years on, and the growth is in tourism.
This is true. And I think on that note, we will end it.
Yes, okay.
Thank you very much for your time, Marisa. It's been very interesting to talk to you.
Thank you so much,
And
Caroline.
best of luck for the coming
Yes,
year.
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure as well. And best of luck to you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.